Good evening, traders. Welcome to this session of discussing what we are going to expect for tomorrow being the 5th of October, and what are the support and resistance areas that we have. We will also need to remember that tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning we have the PCE numbers coming out, and at 10 a.m. in the morning we have the consumer confidence report as well. Both these are known to be big time market movers, so we will have to be careful around those times and see how the market reacts to the news before we get into any trades. Before we start, I would like to announce that this Sunday, October the 6th at 11 a.m. EST, I will be hosting a session on leg and bar counting. It will be hosted on Google Meet, and the link to that Google Meet is given in the description below. So if you are interested or you know anyone else who might be interested, please share it with them and hop on to the meeting at 11 a.m. EST this Sunday. Also, if you're liking the content of these videos, please like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification icon. Let us now get back into the monthly chart again. Now, nothing has changed on the monthly chart for now. This still stays our very strong support at the 5722 or the 5721 area. We have come till the 5724 area, which is also a very good support on the lower time frames. That has not been broken. As long as we have not broken this down, the bears will not get any further traction to the downside. So we will have to see how strongly this particular line, the 5721.25, this line breaks down, and then we will see at the lower time frame what are the different other support and resistance areas that we have. Based on the monthly time frame, if we are breaking down this 5721 area, we will come to this 5667 area once again. Now, if you notice one more thing, after this new leg was done, this is the first reversal attempt that we are having. Or we can say this was the first leg up, there was the pullback, this was the second leg up, and now we are having a pullback after the second leg. Whatever may be the case, on the monthly chart, this is the first reversal attempt that we can see that there is a red bar that is forming. But it can just be a pullback. It's just a 100-point bar, and the price may at any point of time just zoom back up above that 7.3 level and keep going to the upside and create another new high. I would also keep this trend line on the monthly chart as of now, and if we look at this trend line comes and hits the monthly chart at the 5623 line. So in case the market wants to turn down tomorrow after all the news coming out, we can easily find ourselves in the 5623 area. If the major support areas on the lower time frame are taken out, we will keep a line marked here at this point of time, just to know that this is the area where the price may see some bounce on the monthly chart. So that is all that we have on the monthly chart at this point. Let us move on to the weekly chart. Let us now take a look at the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we see that we had this wedge line, and now we are having this pullback. On this particular chart, after this new low was created, this was the first attempt of reversal, and now we are having the second attempt of reversal. We also have this trend line support at the 5720 area on the weekly chart. So from that 5724 to the 20 line, we have to be careful. There may be a bounce from here, and we can get back above the 33 and the 44 lines once again and keep going to the upside. If not, if the bears are strong enough and we break down these areas, the next level of support will be in the 11 to the 13 area on the weekly chart. After that, we can see the 5702 to the 5691 area. And below that, we can come to this 568283 area, followed by the 5673 area, and then we can come down to the 5650 to the 5638 area. We also need to remember that at this 5691.75 line, this is the ATR target for the weekly bears. So it is also possible that we come down here, then we start bouncing from here, and then we will look at the price action on the 5-minute RTA chart and see that if there is a possibility of the price moving back up again from here. Now, the weekly bar has not ended yet, so it will end tomorrow, and based on that only we can further predict where the price can go based on the weekly chart. What is the structure that the market is creating at this point? Now, if you remember the 5661 to the 5666 area, that has been a very stable resistance at this point of time. That is because we are unable to get above the close of August. Every time we are going above the close of August, either to the 6.6 or to the 5.770 area, the bears are actually pushing the price down below this and getting it further to the downside. Now we need to see if we are crossing up this area in the middle. We also have this 5.773 or the 7.2 area, which is actually the high of this particular month. Above that, we will get to the 5.783, 5.791, and 5.797. But primarily, I need to see that this 5.773 area is getting taken out, and we are continuing to go up. We are going to the 5.78485 area, holding that area and keep moving up. But for those things to happen, first we need to see that the 6.6 area is breaking out strong, and then we are taking out the 7.2 area, and then we will keep going to the upside. Now we also need to remember that the bulls on the weekly chart are actually trapped near this 5790 line. So if the price is actually going up, this will be a very good target for the bulls to achieve so that they can become whole again on their initial contract. And if they have bought again at the bottom, those contracts will get some profit here. And then we will see if the market is actually able to push up higher above the 5800 and then to the 5802, the 5813 and the 5822 levels once again. Having looked at the weekly chart, let us now move on to the daily chart. Now, the most interesting thing to see is that we have an inside bar today and we have a kind of a double bottom right on the daily 20 EMA. So if we look back again here after this new high was created and we had this wedge, this was the first attempt of reversal. We came down till here and we went back up again. This was the second attempt of reversal, but then we found bulls again in this area and pulled back up, and today was actually an inside day. So now we will have to wait and see on which side the price is breaking out, whether we are breaking out above the 5773 area or we are breaking down below this 5724 area. Even if we are breaking down here, we may come and hit this trend line at the 5722.75 line, which is also similar to the weekly charts trend line support that we saw. So we will have to be careful from this 24 to the 20 area. As I stated earlier, we can have a very good bounce from here again. But if we see that a 4-hour chart has actually closed below this 5725, then it is highly possible that we will continue to the downside. Now, if you also see, this is an expanding triangle that we have now, and inside that we just had one leg up and one leg down. Now, in an expanding triangle, there is normally 5 to 7 legs that happen. So we just have 2 legs now. It is highly possible that it will bounce back from here and will try to go and hit this trend line on the upside once again, and it may actually create a new high as well. If we have the price going up and hitting this particular trend line tomorrow, then at that point of time we will come to this 5832 area, which will create another new high, and then we will see if we are breaking out of that and we are able to get back into this channel at that point. Now, if that actually happens and the price actually goes back up, then it is highly probable that we will get a 1:1 of this pullback, which will take us again back to the 5911 or the 5912 areas. But that is pretty far away. We have to cover out the whole 5800 section before we can reach out there, and this may not happen immediately. But once we break out of this particular expanding triangle to the upside, this can be a target for bulls. But we will have to see how good the price is moving to the upside, or are we getting continuous bigger pullbacks and the price is getting pulled down again. Now on the downside, if we are breaking down these areas, we have a major support at 5716 on the daily chart, followed by the 5702 area. After the 5702 area, we can come down to the 5689 to the 5683 area, followed by the 5677 area. So the 5673 area that has been a strong resistance for so long, if we are breaking down to the downside, then it is highly possible that we will come down the 100 points from that 5773 to the 5673 areas, below which we will find ourselves in the 5662 to the 57 area, followed by 43, and then we will come down to the 5605 line, which is actually the midpoint of this whole upswing that we had. Now on the upside again, I want price to be above the 7.2 to the 7.8 area and then go and sit above the 5.785. This is another very major resistance that we have. If we can get above that, then we will come close to the 5800, and then we will see if we are able to break out to the upside and at least reach the 5819 to the 22 area once again. So as of now, we are in a trading range. This is a mother bar that we have, so we will have to see what are the 11 and the 21% extensions to the upside. That can be very good areas where the bulls can be trapped. We will also have to look at the 11 to 21% areas on the downside and see where the bears are getting trapped. Right now, let us take a look at those values. So with our mother bar fib in place, the 5719 to the 5714 area, this can be a catchment area where the bears can be trapped. And on the upside, we can get up to the 5779 to the 5784 area. If we cross above that, then we will see further moves to the upside. So as of now, basically we are in a trading range between that 72 and the 24 area, and we will continue to be in the trading range as long something does not accelerate this out of that particular trading range, and then we will see whether we are going to hit the expanding triangle bottom or the top. Let us now move on to the intraday 4-hour chart. Now the 4-hour chart is in this kind of a channel, right? We had this particular trend line, we broke out of the trend line and we pulled back again, and now we are starting to move up. We will have to see that we are crossing above this 20 EMA. Every time we have gone above the 20 EMA or to the 70 to the 66 area, the market has actually brought the price below the 20 EMA once again. So if we are trying to count the legs here from starting from here, after we made this new low, this was the first reversal attempt, we came down again. This was the second reversal attempt, we came down back again. This was the third reversal attempt that we had. We had another drop to the same area, and now we are trying the fourth reversal attempt. But as of now, we still have not broken out of this particular channel. Once we break out of this particular channel and we go and close at least one bar strong above this 576365 area, only at that point of time we will try to think that it is possible for the price to move up to the 5773 area. This is also a resistance on the 4-hour chart at this point of time, and above that we can come up to this gap which is at 5783. Now if we do not get a double top reversal here, the price will continue to go inside, and the next target will be the 5801. This whole area is the gap area, so we will have to be very careful above the 5809, because between 5800 and 5809 there may be bears present again who will be willing to push the price down once again. If we can get above the 09 area, then we will see if we are able to get to the 19 to the 21 area and then go up and create a new all-time high based on the target that we saw on the daily chart. Now on the flip side, if we are giving out this 5724 area and then the 5720 area, it is highly possible that we will come and hit this wedge line again for a fourth touch. We had the first, second and third touch here. So if we do not break out from here, we can actually come down again and get a fourth touch. And that may actually give a couple of more legs to the downside based on the 4-hour chart, just because it will go below the fourth reversal attempt at that point of time. And if that is strong, we can have another 2 to 3 legs on the downside. On the downside, again, this 5712 area is a support, and then the 5702 area is a support. We do not know at what point of time, if the price comes down, at what point of time the price will come and touch this wedge line, but be very aware of this wedge line. So if the price comes down here, there is a very high probability that we will bounce back from here, and that will take us around 20-30 points to the upside once again. If we are giving out this 5702, the next target will be in the 5689 to the 5675 areas, and below that we have the 5660 to the 5656 area, and after that we have the 5639, the 5632, and subsequently to the lower 5600s. Now especially this area, the 5689 to the 5675, this is a very strong buy zone at this point. If you see here, there were a lot of bearish wicks here, and then we finally rocketed off to the top. We can have a similar structure like this also available here, but then we have to see that there are big bull bars that are getting created, and we are actually moving out of this particular channel and trying to go up. If that happens, this whole channel can actually become a bull flag, and the bulls may actually try and get back to the top once more. But again, I'm saying this multiple times, just like if the 2-4 does not break down to the downside, the 2-4 to the 2-0 area, the bears will not find enough traction. Similarly, as long as we are not strongly breaking out of the 7-3 area and holding that, the bulls will also not find enough traction to take the price to the higher side. So tomorrow morning, after the news comes out, we will have to see how the market reacts to it. Maybe that news tomorrow morning at 8:30 and at 10 o'clock will finally decide on the direction of the market. Now, the final observation on the 4-hour chart is that we also have a mother bar right here, right? So if the breakout happens on the upside and we can get above the 7-0, the 7-3 area, then the 1:1 target of this particular mother bar will be at 5813. However, if we are breaking down from here and we are continuing to come to the downside, then the 1:1 target for the bears will be somewhere in the 5682 area. Let us now take a look at the 1 hour chart. So in the 1 hour chart, we have already established that it's 70 to the 2427 area. This is a trading range that we have. So inside that trading range, this 5738 to the 5733 area has been working as a very good buy zone, with this 5727 to 24 area working as the major support. And below that, if we are breaking that down, the next major support on the 1 hour chart will be at 5712, and then we can come down to the 5688 area if we break down the 5699, and then we will see if we can come down to this 5680 to the 70 area. This will be a very major support, and then we can trickle down to all these targets to the downside in the 5600s. Now if we are getting above this area, we will face some resistance here between 85 and 77, and above that we will get to this resistance area between 95 and 96, and 94 and 96. Above that we will come to this sell zone, which is at 5808 to 5819, and then finally we can come up to this all-time high, and we will see if we are able to break the all-time high out. Along with that, this is the kind of channel in which the price is moving at this point of time. Although we are moving sideways, we are still a part of this channel, because even though we are trying to break out of here, we are bringing it back down. Now we will have to see on which side of this particular channel the 1 hour chart is breaking out and we are getting follow through, or maybe that will happen once the news items that are scheduled for tomorrow comes out, and at that point of time we will see a big move up or down. So if you have noticed, the whole week has been in a 100-point range from the 5822 to the 5724 area. Now if you are breaking down the 5724 and the 20 areas, we know what are the support areas that we have the bottom. If we are breaking out of 5770, we will still find resistance here, and then we will have to see if we are breaking through this and sitting on top of this, then there will be an opportunity to get to these levels on the upside. Also, since there have been continuous lower highs in this region as well, I will keep this kind of a trend line inside this particular channel at this point of time, just to make sure that we are not missing out anything while the price is trying to move in this area. Similarly, from the bottom side, we also have this trend line, and they are forming a triangle at this point. So once we break out of this triangle, once we come to this area, this is where we will start to form an expanding triangle here, and then see how the price is moving. Let us now take a look at the RTH 5-minute chart. So we know that from the 7.3 to the 2.4 area, this 50-point range has been working as a trading range. So if we are breaking down of this particular trading range from here, and we are trying to do a 1:1 of that particular trading range to the downside, the price can easily bring us to the 5676 level to the downside. And by chance, if we are trying to break out to the top, then we can get to that 5820 area as a 1:1 of this particular trading range being broken out to the upside. However, we have this particular trend line that we need to take care of. We have this particular wedge line here that we need to take care of. And then after that, we have these trend lines, which I will extend to the right at this point. And I will extend this as well to the right. So we will have to make sure that if the price is coming down here and bouncing, we are aware of that. Apart from that, if you are breaking down this particular area between 2.4 and 1.8, the next area of support will be at 5.713. Then we will see 5.709. And after that, we can come down to the 5.702 to the 5.697 area. If we are breaking these down and finally breaking down this 8.5 to the 8.2 area as well, we will definitely see that 5676 line down there. Now on the upside again, just like we were speaking on the higher time frames, this 5373 line needs to be taken out. Once this is taken out, I actually want price to sit above this 8.2 to the 8.5 area. At that point of time, I will actually start thinking that it is highly possible to get to this 9.7 to the 5800 area, crossing above which we can get to the 5802, the 5813 and the 5822 areas, and then we can create a new ATH if the bulls have enough momentum left in them. So that is all the analysis that I have for now. Based on this, we will come back in the morning tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. EST and will create the pre-market plan. If you want to join the pre-market plan, to link to the Google Meet is given in the description below. Along with that, you will find all the read-only link to all these charts that we were discussing. You will also find the link to our free Discord server as well as our Facebook page, and you are very welcome to join there. I will end this video here tonight, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.